In a quiet part of Nigeria, far away from big cities and noisy roads, there was a village called Aduku. Aduku was close to a wide forest that never seemed to end. Tall trees stood like guards, and green leaves covered the sky. Birds sang every morning, and at night, crickets and frogs filled the air with sound. The people of Aduku lived simple lives. Their houses were made of mud and sticks, with roofs from dry grass. Smoke rose from cooking fires every morning and evening. Men worked on the farms, planting yam, cassava, maize, and vegetables. Some men went to the river to fish. Women cooked food, fetched water, and told stories to children under big trees. Children ran barefoot, laughed loudly, and played games with stones and sticks. Life in Aduku was peaceful. One morning, something strange happened. A young girl walked into the village from the forest path. No one saw her coming until she was already near the center of the village. She walked slowly, like someone who was not tired at all. She was tall for her age and very slim. Her skin was dark and smooth, shining under the sun. Her hair was thick and black, tied loosely behind her head. Her name was Zainab. She wore a short brown cloth tied around her waist, and in her hand she carried a small woven basket. Her feet were bare, but they were strong and clean, like someone used to walking long distances. People stopped what they were doing and stared. "Who is that?" one woman whispered. "Where did she come from?" another asked. Zainab looked around calmly. Her eyes were sharp and bright. She did not look afraid. She did not smile much either. She just walked and waited. The village head, an old man named Malam Sadiq, stepped forward. He had a long white beard and leaned on a wooden staff. "You are welcome," he said kindly. "What is your name, my child?" Zainab replied in a low voice, "My name is Zainab." "Where do you come from?" Malam Sadiq asked. Zainab looked toward the forest. "From far inside," she said. "Very far." That was all she said. The villagers looked at each other. In Aduku, people believed that the forest held many secrets, but they also believed in kindness. "You can stay with us," Malam Sadiq said. "A stranger is a guest." They gave Zainab an empty hut near the edge of the village, close to the forest. She thanked them and settled in quietly. At first, everything seemed normal, but after some days, people noticed something strange. Zainab never joined others to eat. Every afternoon, women cooked thick pounded yam and soup with vegetables and fish. The smell filled the village. Children ran with plates. Men came back hungry from the farms. But Zainab never came. Instead, she went into the forest alone. She returned with fruits, nuts, leaves, and roots. She ate them just as they were. No fire, no pot, no cooking. One woman named Auntie Rahila, who liked to talk a lot, watched her closely. "Why do you eat like that?" Auntie Rahila asked. "Food tastes better when cooked." Zainab smiled softly. "This is how I eat." "But don't you like soup?" Auntie Rahila asked. "I do not eat cooked food," Zainab replied. That was all. Soon, everyone knew. Zainab only ate raw food. Children followed her around. A small boy named Sule, who was 8 years old, asked her one day, "Why don't you use fire?" Zainab bent down and looked at him. "Fire changes things," she said. "I need things as they are." Sule ran off shouting, "She's different. She is very different." At night, strange sounds came from the forest, louder than before. Trees shook. Animals cried. One morning, people found large footprints near Zainab's hut. They looked like the prints of a big animal. A lion, someone whispered. But no lion entered the village. Zainab only smiled and ate a raw guava. One day, a hunter named Danladi went deep into the forest. He saw something that made him drop his spear. Zainab was standing near a fallen tree. In front of her was a large wild dog. Its teeth were sharp. Its eyes were fierce. But it did not attack her. Zainab spoke softly. The animal sat down like a trained dog. Then it followed her as she walked away. Danladi ran back to the village. "She talks to animals," he shouted. "Wild animals." Fear spread. Some villagers said she was blessed. Others said she was dangerous. But Zainab was always kind. She helped old people. She carried water for the sick. She taught children songs she learnt in the forest. Then something happened that changed everything. One evening, hunters returned with a fresh antelope, blood still warm. They shared the meat. Danladi, trying to be friendly, gave Zainab a big piece. She thanked him. Then, in front of everyone, she ate it raw. She tore small pieces and chewed calmly. Red stains touched her lips. She looked strong, not sick, not weak. Women screamed. Children hid. "She eats raw meat," Auntie Rahila cried. Zainab wiped her mouth and smiled. "This food gives me strength." That night, a deep growl came from the forest. Heavy footsteps shook the ground. A massive lion walked into Aduku. But it did not attack. It walked straight to Zainab and lay down beside her hut. The lion belonged to her. And that was only the beginning. The next morning, no one in Aduku went to the farm early. People stayed near their huts and watched Zainab's place from far. The lion was still there. It lay on the ground calmly, its tail moving slowly. Flies buzzed around, but the lion did not move. Zainab came out of her hut and stretched her body like a cat. She touched the lion's head. The lion closed its eyes. Some people gasped. "It is true," an old man said. "The lion knows her." Muallam Sadiq walked forward slowly. His hands were shaking, but his voice was calm. "Zainab," he said, "why is a lion following you?" Zainab looked sad. She did not answer at once. "He is called Guru," she said at last. "He is my friend." "A friend?" Auntie Rahila shouted. "That is not a goat. That is a lion." Guru stood up and growled softly. Zainab touched his neck and he lay down again. "Please," Zainab said, "he will not hurt anyone." The villagers did not know what to do. They were scared, but they also saw that nothing bad had happened yet. Muallam Sadiq nodded. "For now, we watch," he said, "but you must tell us the truth soon." Zainab agreed. From that day, strange things became normal. Guru followed Zainab everywhere. When she went to the forest, he walked beside her. When she sat under a tree, he slept near her feet. At night, he guarded her hut. Other animals came too. Monkeys dropped fruits near her door. Birds sat on her shoulders. Even snakes passed near her without biting. Zainab grew stronger each day. She could carry heavy loads with ease. She ran faster than the village boys. She never fell sick. But fear grew in some hearts. One night, Muallam Sadiq called the elders together. "We must hear her story," he said. "There is too much we do not know." They went to Zainab's hut with lanterns. "Zainab," the chief said, "tell us why you eat only raw food. Tell us why animals follow you." Zainab looked at Guru. The lion rested his head on her leg. She took a deep breath. "It started when I was a child." The elders listened. "My village was deeper in the forest than this one. I lived with my parents and my younger brother. His name is Bala." Her voice shook. "One day, I found a hidden river. The water was clear and shining. I was thirsty. I drank it." The elders leaned closer. That water was not normal, she continued. It was water from old forest spirits. After I drank it, my body changed. Cooked food burnt my stomach, but raw food made me strong. She paused. The animals could feel the spirit in me. They did not fear me. Malam Sabik nodded slowly. But Bala followed me, she said, tears forming in her eyes. He was small. He loved me. I took him to the river. A soft wind blew. He drank the water too, she said. That is when everything went wrong. The elders stayed silent. The spirits allowed only one person to drink, she said. The magic broke. My brother changed. She covered her face. He grew fast. His body became heavy. Hair covered him. He could not speak well anymore. He cried like an animal. Auntie Rahila, who had followed quietly, gasped. The village people were afraid, she said. They wanted to kill him. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I ran away with him into the forest. Goro found us and protected us. But Bala became too wild, too sad. I could not help him. She looked down. I left him deep in the forest, she whispered. I thought it would protect him. The elders felt pain in their hearts. But he is alive, she said, and he is looking for me. As if the forest heard her words, a deep crying sound came from far away. It was not a roar. It sounded like pain. Goro stood up fast. His hair rose. Zainab's face turned pale. He has found me, she said. The ground shook. Trees moved. People ran out of their huts. A large shape came out of the forest. It walked on two legs. Its body was covered in dark hair. Its eyes glowed in the night. Children screamed. Zainab stepped forward. That is Bala, she said softly. My brother. The creature stopped. It looked at her. Tears fell from its eyes. It cried again. Zainab walked closer. Goro followed. Slowly, the creature bent down and hugged her gently. The village went silent. My brother, Zainab whispered. Bala cried like a lost child. Some women began to cry too. He is not evil, Malam Sadiq said. He is hurt. Bala stayed near Zainab. He ate raw meat and fish that night. He did not attack anyone. But fear returned. What about the spirits? Someone asked. Zainab's face became serious. They will come, she said. They are angry. When the moon is gone tomorrow night, they will take Bala. The village fell quiet. What can we do? Auntie Rahila asked. Zainab looked at the forest. We must go back to the river. The next day, no one worked. People prepared. Men carried torches. Women prepared fruits and raw food. Children practiced songs. At night, when the moon disappeared, they walked. The forest was dark. Sounds followed them. Animals joined them. When they reached the river, mist rose. Bright shapes appeared. The spirit spoke. Why do you return? Zainab bowed. Please forgive us, she said. My brother did not choose this. Muallam Sadiq stepped forward. If there must be a price, let us share it. The spirits were silent. Children placed fruits by the water. Love filled the air. At last, the spirit spoke. The curse will lift, but the bond with the forest stays. Light covered Bala. His body changed. The hair fell away. He became human again. Zainab screamed with joy and hugged him. Morning came. They returned to Aduku together. Bala stayed. Zainab stayed. They ate raw food. Animals stayed close. And the village learnt that love can be stronger than fear.
When the people of Aduku returned from the secret river, the sun was already rising. The sky was light orange and birds were singing again. Everyone was tired, but their hearts were full. Bala walked slowly beside Zainab. He was now a young man, tall and strong, with dark skin and kind eyes. Some wildness still stayed in his movement, but he was no longer a beast. He could speak, he could smile. The villagers watched him carefully, but they did not run away. Malam Sadiq raised his hand. "From today," he said, "Bala is one of us." People nodded. Women brought water. Children brought fruits. Bala bowed his head in thanks. Zainab felt something she had not felt in many years: peace. But life did not return to normal quickly. Some villagers were still afraid. At night, some people locked their doors tight. Others whispered stories. "Will he change again?" one man asked. "What if the spirits come back?" another said. Zainab heard the whispers, but she did not get angry. She understood fear. Every day, she and Bala showed kindness. They helped on the farms. Bala carried heavy loads of yam and cassava without complaint. Zainab fetched water from far places. They shared food with everyone. They still ate only raw food. Zainab ate fruits, leaves, roots, raw fish and raw meat. Bala did the same. Some children tried to copy them, but their mothers stopped them. "That food is not for everyone," Auntie Rahila said. "That is their own path." Goro the lion stayed close. He never harmed anyone. He slept under trees during the day and guarded the village at night. Slowly, fear faded. One afternoon, Sule ran to Zainab. "Teach us your forest song," he said. Zainab smiled. She taught the children songs about trees, rivers, and animals, songs about sharing and caring. Bala taught the boys how to listen to the forest, how to know when rain was coming, how to walk without fear. Months passed. The village of Aduku became different. Animals came closer than before. Crops grew well. The river never dried. People believed the forest spirits were watching with calm hearts now. One evening, Malam Sadiq called Zainab and Bala. "You should stay," he said. "This is your home." Zainab bowed. "Thank you." That night, under a full moon, the village danced. Drums beat, feet moved, laughter filled the air. Goro watched quietly. Zainab looked at the sky and smiled. Her journey had been long. Her pain had been deep. But love had brought her here. And in Aduku, she found family again. Life in Aduku slowly became calm again, but it was never the same as before. The village felt closer to the forest now. People listened more. They watched the trees, the birds, and the animals with new eyes. Zainab and Bala became part of everyday life. Every morning, Zainab woke up early. She washed her face with cool water and went into the forest. Goro followed her quietly. She picked fruits from tall trees. She dug up roots from soft ground. She knew which leaves were good and which ones were not. She never took too much. She always thanked the forest in a low voice. Bala went with her sometimes, but often he stayed in the village. He helped the men on the farms. He was very strong. He could lift heavy baskets alone. He worked without rest and never complained. Some men asked him, "Where did you learn to be this strong?" Bala smiled and said, "The forest teaches." The children loved Bala. They followed him everywhere. He told them stories about animals and trees. He showed them how to track footsteps on the ground. He taught them how to hear danger before it came. At night, he sat with them and talked. But sometimes, Bala woke up shaking. Bad dreams came back to him. Dreams of being lost, dreams of crying alone in the dark forest. Zainab always woke when she heard him. She sat beside him and held his hand. "You are safe," she whispered. "You are home." Goro stayed close, his eyes open, guarding them. One evening, a stranger came to Aduku. He came from a far village. His clothes were torn, and his face showed fear. He ran to the village center and fell to the ground. "Help!" he cried. "Something terrible is coming." Malam Sadiq came out quickly.
What is it?" The man looked around with wide eyes. "A wild thing," he said. "It attacked our goats. It broke our huts. We could not stop it." Zainab felt a cold feeling in her chest. "Did it toll?" she asked. "Did it cry like a hurt child?" The man nodded fast. "Yes." Bala stood up quickly. His hands shook. "The curse," he whispered. "It is not fully gone." The villagers became afraid again. Goro growled low. Zainab closed her eyes and took a deep breath. The spirit said the magic would stay. Maybe another soul drank from the river long ago. Malam Sadiq looked worried. "What do we do?" Zainab stood straight. "We face it together." That night, the forest became loud again. Branches broke, leaves fell. A dark shape moved near the edge of the village. Men held spears, but their hands shook. Children hid. Zainab walked forward slowly. "Do not attack," she said. "Let me speak." Goro followed her. The creature stepped into the light. It was smaller than Bala had been, but still not human. Its eyes were full of pain. It cried. Zainab spoke softly. "You are not alone." The creature stopped. Bala walked beside her. "I understand you," he said gently. Slowly, the creature calmed. The villagers watched in silence. Zainab turned to the people. "Fear makes monsters. Love heals them." They took the creature to the forest edge. They gave it raw food and water. They did not attack it. By morning, it was gone. The village was safe. From that day, people truly understood. Zainab and Bala were not a curse. They were a bridge between the village and the forest. Years passed. Aduku grew. Children grew into adults. They remembered the lessons. Respect nature. Share food. Welcome strangers. Zainab grew older, but her strength stayed. Bala became a leader among the young men. Goro grew old, but his eyes stayed sharp. When Goro finally slept forever under a big tree, the whole village cried. They buried him with respect. Zainab sang a forest song for him. The forest answered. And the story of the girl who ate only raw food and her brother who was saved by love was told again and again.
After the night when the strange creature came and left peacefully, the people of Aduku changed fully. Fear no longer ruled their hearts. They learned that not every strange thing was bad. Zainab and Bala were no longer seen as different. They were seen as teachers. Malam Sadiq grew very old. One morning, he called Zainab and Bala to his hut. His voice was weak, but his eyes were bright. "My time is almost done," he said. "This village needs leaders who understand both people and the forest." He placed his hand on Bala's shoulder. "You will guide the men." Then he held Zainab's hand. "And you will guide the heart of the village." Zainab bowed her head. She did not ask for power, but she accepted duty. After Malam Sadiq passed away, the village honored him. Drums played softly. Stories were told. Tears fell. Bala became one of the leaders. He did not rule with fear. He listened first. He spoke gently. Zainab became the one people went to when they were confused or afraid. She listened more than she talked. She still ate only raw food. New visitors sometimes laughed at first. "You don't cook?" they asked. Zainab smiled. "This is how my life is." Some tried to mock her, but when they saw her strength and kindness, they stopped. One dry season, when rain did not come for many days, crops began to suffer. The river grew low. People worried. Bala gathered the village. "We must respect the forest more," he said. "We have taken too much." Zainab led the people into the forest. They cleaned paths. They planted young trees. They stopped hunting for some time.
She sang forest songs by the river. After some days, clouds came. Rain fell. The land became green again. People rejoiced. Years passed. Zainab's hair showed small lines of grey, but her body stayed strong. Bala married a kind woman from the village. They had children. The children loved Zainab like a mother. She taught them early. Do not waste food, she said. Do not hurt animals without reason. Fire is good, but not for everything. Some children asked, "Why do you still eat raw food?" She answered, "Because my promise to the spirits still stands, and because love made me this way." One night, Zainab had a dream. She saw the secret river again. The water shone. The spirits stood quietly. "You have done well," they said. "Your heart stayed clean." When she woke up, she felt calm. That morning, she did not go into the forest. She sat quietly under a tree. Bala noticed. "Sister, are you sick?" he asked. Zainab smiled. "No, I am just resting." That night, she lay down and did not wake again. Her face was peaceful. The village cried deeply. They buried her near the forest, under a tall tree. Birds sang softly that day. Animals gathered quietly. Bala stood strong, but tears fell. "She taught us love," he said. Years later, children still sat under that tree. They heard the story again and again. The story of a girl who ate only raw food, not because she wanted power, but because she loved her brother and respected the forest. And in Aduku, that lesson never died.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting new tale. See you in the next one.